I want to stream this so I can have it recorded. It'll be nice, simple. At least one can hope. One can imagine. Film and animation. Oh, yes, I am pretentious. I gotta add my Jak and Daxter tag. My language is Icelandic in here. We'll do an Icelandic stream one day. Oh my, there actually is. Don't care. Pog. Okay. All right. Well, I think I'm finally ready. I think I'm finally ready to do this for real. Why didn't you tell me one more time what we're doing here?
We're reviewing Jak II videos.
Yes. I mean, in a sense, yes. That is correct. What I'm trying to do here is, since I'm hearing, I've gotten word on the winds about Jak and Daxter getting its own film, since Uncharted is getting a film, or it's out already. I don't know. I know it's a thing. It's got Tom Holland in it.
Oh, so you're doing a video because of the movie.
Yes, so my idea is, obviously there's more to Jak 2 than its cutscenes, obviously. And I don't know what the film for Jak and Daxter would even be about, if it's going to be based on the first one or the second one. I doubt they would just start off with the third one, or if they even want to follow these stories at all, because I argue that Jak and Daxter is literally the perfect video game, like, ever made, ever. Okay, it doesn't have a super complex story, it's simple, probably be really easy to adapt to film, but the genres are pretty different, so you could go for two different crowds. You could go for an action-adventure film that's in a colorful, delightful, child-friendly world that would be Jak and Daxter, or you could go for that gritty, dark atmosphere, cyberpunk Jak 2. And you could really do either of them. I would, if I were making the film, I'd probably go with the first one, because it'd probably be way more enjoyable in a far simpler undertaking, because nobody's ever done this for Jak and Daxter before. In fact, Sony acts like the franchise just doesn't fucking exist. So, if I had to guess, though, they're probably going to go do something based off Jak 2, because gritty and edgy is kind of in right now. And if I read an article, I read an article talking about this, where Tom Holland stated that he would prefer to do Jak 2, because, you know, Jak actually has a voice. You could give Jak a voice, and if you were making a movie based off the first one, I wouldn't have an issue with that. So this came to my mind. Is, like, Jak 2 even good? I mean, like, sure, it's a fun game. It's hard, it's challenging, and I think it's a fun game. But its story, since it wanted to go for this dark and edgy story, is it, like, even good? Because I've played through Jak 2 quite a few times now. And frankly, I think its story is complete fucking rubbish. Like, it's belongs in the trash. Like, like, I look at Jak 2's story as a whole, based mostly from its cutscenes sewn together, because really not a whole lot happens outside of them besides action context. But if you were to put the cutscenes of Jak 2 into a narrative, its story is, like, pretty garbage. That's my opinion anyway, so I'm gonna go through and watch all of these things, and you're joining me. You don't have a choice. I'm forcing you to be here. I have locked the doors. I have glued your feet to the floor. You are not allowed to move. I will strap you into the machine that forces your eyelids to stay open if I have to. You are going to hear all of my criticism. You don't have a choice. What a fantastic way to spend your Valentine's Day, wouldn't you say?
Sure.
I know you don't believe in romance, do you?
That's up for debate.
Oh, Well, don't let me change your mind. I'm just in for Valentine's for the candy. Pink Halloween. That's all I care about. Anyway, to stay on topic, I'm going to start from the beginning and just work my way through this cutscene compilation that will just play through the whole game. And I will stop if I need to elaborate on my thoughts or if something particularly stands out to me, but otherwise we'll just go through them and you can just say what comes to your mind and challenge my thoughts if you'd like to. Without further ado, let's do this. And then I'm probably gonna monitor this for a few minutes to make sure everything is going right, because I've never streamed via YouTube before.
For every age there is a time of trial. The rocks faced such a fire before they were the strength beneath our feet.
Oh,
The
naughty
plants
dog.
braved vast winds before their roots could give us life. As a sage of considerable years, I have known only one such great ordeal. Yet the hero it created was a champion for all time. Today's the big day, Jak. I hope you are prepared for whatever happens.
I think I figured out most of this machine. It interacts somehow with that large precursor.
It is interesting how you can see nothing in the background is rendered.
Easy for you to
Like
say.
Misty Island
We
isn't
did
there.
all the heavy lifting.
Daxter, don't touch anything! Though the precursors vanished long ago, the artifacts they left behind can still do great harm.
Or great good, if you figure out how to use them.
I've had
Why
some
does Kira
experience
always
with
have this shit-eating grin on her face? I hate it.
Looks like Jak still got the mojo.
Interesting. It appears to be reading out some preset coordinates.
Look at that.
Finally, the last rift gate has been opened.
What are those things?
So this is how it happened.
You cannot hide from me, boy.
Do something, Jak!
What's this do? Or that? How about this one? Anybody press all the buttons?
What was that thing?
Hang on, everyone!
I want on this thing!
Find yourself, Jak!
It was that big first shot of Haven City, which I think actually looks really cool.
Okay. I swear, that's the last time I ever touch any stupid precursor crap!
There he is. Move in. Step away from the animal.
Ah!
Forget the rat. The Baron wants him. We've been waiting for you.
Don't worry, Jak. I'll save you before you know it.
Man, that 2 years later really hits hard. Like, it actually has so much weight.
Dark eco injection cycle complete. Bio readings changed?
Well, nothing. I was informed that this one might be different.
He is surprisingly resistant to your experiments, Baron Praxis. I fear the Dark Warrior program has failed.
You should at least be dead with all the dark eco I pumped into you.
What now? Metalhead armies are pressing their attacks. Without a new weapon, my men cannot hold them off forever.
I will not be remembered as the man who lost this city to those vile creatures. Move forward with the final plan and finish off this thing tonight.
As you wish.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
Ding ding, 3rd floor. Body chains, roach food, torture devices. Hey, buddy, you seen any heroes around here? Whoa! What'd they do to you? Jack, it's me, Daxter. That's a fine hello. I've been crawling around in this place, risking my tail, literally, to save you. I've been looking for you for 2 years. Say something, just this once.
I'm gonna kill Praxis.
Shh. Right now, we gotta get you out of here. Just let me figure out how to open the security locks for your chair so I can... Or, you can do it. Jack, easy now. Easy, buddy. It's your old pal Daxter, remember?
Daxter?
What the heck was that? Jeez! Remind me not to piss you off. Come on, tall, dark, and gruesome. We're out of here. I brought you some new threads. Put them on.
Oh, right. So you know what? Let's just stop right there. Let's just... That was, in my opinion, a really good intro for Jak II to really introduce this new setting that's like darker and scarier, dirtier, edgier. I mean, like, it's fine. Like, it really sets up Jak as a character who has just been immediately changed over the course of a single cutscene. Great. The Dark Jak thing, awesome. Too bad we will never see it again until like the last cutscene of the game. Like, it might be a little while because somewhere towards the mid game they talk a little bit about it, like a tiny bit. So I'll probably save all of my reserved thoughts until then. But the lack of narrative use of Dark Jak is quite astounding in a game that has him like on the fucking disc. At least in the American copy of the game, the disc is like a horizontal split of Jak and Dark Jak. So it's like, it's a big deal. Like, I think he's even on the American cover, disc cover, or box cover too, in like a little box screenshot thing. I don't remember, because I think I have my box. I think I have a game box of it downstairs. I don't know. Let's just keep going for now.
Hello, strangers. My name is Core. May I help?
You look like a reasonably smart man. I want information. Where the hell am I?
Sorry. He's new to the whole conversation thing.
Well, my angry young friend, you are a guest of His Majesty, Baron Praxis, the ruler of glorious Haven City.
I was just a guest in the good Baron's prison.
Inside a cell or inside the city, walls surround us both. We are all his prisoners. Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'd move on if I were you.
By order of His Eminence, the Grand Protector of Haven City, Baron Praxis, everyone in this section is hereby under arrest for suspicion of harboring underground fugitives. Surrender and die.
Excuse me, sir. Don't you mean surrender or die?
Not in this city.
Good of the guard
Protect us from
to
these
look
guards.
down and actually
I'll
pay attention to
introduce you someone
Daxter,
who can help
not
you.
just like kick him.
That was cool.
Okay, so he turns into Dark Jak, right? And he's just like, alright.
Something he did. I can't control it.
Very impressive.
You okay, Jack?
What you just did was very brave. This child is important.
This kid? He looks kind of scruffy.
You are in a restricted zone. Move along.
It's a good thing that corpses disappear in this game, otherwise that guy in the cruiser would have seen like the 40 corpses that Jak just slaughtered.
waging war against Baron Praxis.
Oh well,
its
whatever.
leader, the Shadow, could use fighters like you. Go to the slums, find a dead-end alley near the city wall. Ask for Torn. He can help you.
Torn. What a name.
We're looking for a guy named Torn. Core sent us. Are you Torn?
Maybe this guy's a mute, like you used to be.
New faces make me nervous. Word is you're out to join the fight for the city.
Word is.
Picking the wrong side could be unhealthy.
Been outside for like 20 seconds.
Not likely. If you want to join something, why don't you and your pet go join the circus? Unless you've got the fur for a really tough task. Steal the Baron's banner from the top of the ruined tower and bring it
Yo,
back.
Torn's got a pretty cool knife.
Maybe we'll talk.
I wish we'd ever see him use it. Or I wish we'd actually see Torn do literally anything. This is a great scene. This is a phenomenal scene. I love the use of the sound, the jingle when you grab a power cell in the first game. It's there, but it gets like muted out. It's really interesting. It's a nice callback.
Yeah, I guess you guys are in.
Woo! Being a big hero sure makes you thirsty.
The Baron turned off all water to the slums. He's willing to sacrifice innocent lives just to destroy the underground. I shouldn't be surprised. I've seen his evil before while serving in the Crimson Guard. That's why I quit.
You were a Crimson Guard? Well, that explains your charming sense of humor.
My friend in the Guard tells me the valve to turn the water
You know,
back on.
I think this is the first time so far in the game that they would have name dropped a Crimson
Outside
Guard.
the city. What about the security
We're
walls?
just-
What about the metalheads? There ain't a petting zoo out there. Peeps be getting deep sixed.
Find the large drain pipe in the north wall. It'll take you outside the city to the pumping station. Get to the main valve and open it. If you survive, the slums will be indebted to you. If not, maybe we'll have a touching moment of silence in your honor.
I'd like to give him a touching moment.
That's a weird comment.
Ah,
The valve.
Allow me.
Well, these are the kinds of things I like about Jak II, is that it's still not afraid to embrace its cartoony nature. Especially with like the stretch and squash of Daxter coming out of the pipe.
Don't say it. Don't even chuckle. Next time, you turn the valve.
The slums water is back on. I'd love to see their heads roll when the Baron finds out.
Yeah, I'm sure he's losing lots of sleep over this armpit of the city. We've done what you've asked. Now when do we see the Shadow?
When I say so, if I say so. But before I even think about it, I want you to take care of an ammo dump we've ID'd in the fortress. Lots of Crimson Guards, constant patrols. We know it's vulnerable, and the underground needs you to blow up all the ammo you find inside. Get all of it, and we'll deal a body blow to the Baron.
You're sending us in, tough guy. So what's with this we'll deal a body blow stuff?
That's fine. I want the Baron to know that it's me who's hurting him.
Why does Torn always just have this fucking face?
Cool,
Like
that's
he's
a
so
security
pissed off all the time.
We need those to get through city checkpoints.
Shh.
These barrels are the latest shipment of eco. The Baron says take them and get out.
Metalheads in the city? Why are the guards giving them eco?
So, like, we seem to live in, like, the only real eco we see in Jak II, at least used for anything that's not gun ammunition or healing packs, is, like, dark eco. Why? What happened to all the other ecos? Like,
this place has too much excitement.
obviously,
Move back to the country.
the guns use eco for their weapons, or for their ammunition, I mean. Like, the yellow eco.
Demolition Duo has
The
returned.
scattergun uses the red eco, the Vulcan Fury uses blue eco ammo, and the Peacemaker uses dark eco ammunition, which is strange because it, like, shoots out arc lightning, and that seems to be something generally associated with blue eco. But, like, everywhere else, it seems like there's only dark eco in Jak II. I would imagine that dark eco would probably be a really inefficient energy source. Now, I didn't get my theoretical physics doctorate in eco like Vin or whatever the hell he has, but it just seems like red eco being the essence of, like, power, and blue eco being, like, literal lightning. Like, I feel like these would be far more efficient energy sources than dark eco. Or maybe this is a case of, like, fossil fuels versus renewable energy. Like, obviously, oil being a fossil fuel, and coal, like oil is generally more efficient than coal. Maybe it's more plentiful. Maybe it's easier to get. But we don't see any other eco in Jak II. But I guess that's not fair to fully criticize in this video, because I'm just talking about its story. But it kind of links in. This is why Jak and Daxter is so interesting. Because its environment and its unique world tie so directly into the events of the game. Like, dark eco, we, like, see dark eco in, like, I don't know, the first minute or so of the game, and we see how it transforms Daxter into some weird fantasy creature. These things are so linked. Like, we have all these perfect elements at play. Why would you make a sequel and not utilize any of them? It's this misdirection of interests in Jak II that just really bothers me. Like, Haven City itself bothers me as a gameplay point of view, because it's this giant empty city. We go from having Jak and Daxter with these sprawling Vista environments that are packed full of things to find, and then Haven City is just fucking empty. It's like a dying mall. Just nothing in there. But before I get too into that, I'm just saying that not utilizing all of the constants at play, having basically only, like, dark eco around, is a missed opportunity for Jak II's story.
One barbecued ammo dump, served up hot.
We saw something odd while torching that ammo. The Baron's guards were giving barrels filled with eco to a group of metalheads.
Really? The Shadow will be very interested to hear that.
You know, so far, your gigs have been easier than stealing grass from a sleeping yak cow.
You and the rodent want to start proving yourselves? One of our suppliers needs his payment delivered. A bag of eco ore. Take the Zoomer parked out back and drive it to the Hip Hog Heaven Saloon in Southtown. Ask for Crew. He'll be there. And don't let the Baron's patrols stop you. By the way, when you get there, pump Crew for information. He's wired into the city and may know what the Baron is up to.
You can count on us.
Are you still here?
Let me handle this, Jak. Watch my finesse and style.
Don't forget to ask.
Everything's cool. Nobody panic. Hey, big guy. You Crew? Well, we shook the heat, and your shipment's in primo condition.
That's good, eh? Because a cargo of rare eco ore is worth more than 10 of your lives. And of course, I'd be forced to collect slowly. The underground will take anyone with a pulse these days. And what we have here, the Shadow's mascot of the month. Ooh, soft. Think
This fur would go well with my silk suits, eh?
Listen, tons of fun. Anyone can see that you, and I have the real juice in this burg. We're both players, right? We're both looking for a piece of the action, right? I think we can do business, right?
We did you a favor. Now it's your turn. Why is the Baron giving eco to metalheads?
Questions like that could get a person killed, eh? Zig, be our Capitan here and his friend, Bonus. If you want to see what that baby can do, try the gun course outside. Show me some skill with that hardware, and I'll hire you for a job or two, eh?
Another really good scene, actually.
Excellent shooting, Jack.
I think Crew's introduction is like really well done.
Wastelander?
Can't say that I have.
Wastelanders find items from the outside the city walls, eh? Any artifact or weapon worth having comes through my hands. Work for me and I'll throw some of the sweeter items your way.
Kill metalheads? Get toys? Sounds good to me.
Slow down, Jack and a Fat Man. You two had better run that by me again, because there's no way I'm going outside the city to face more metalheads!
Zig will show you the ropes.
So you want to be Wastelanders, huh, doughboys? Well, we'll see what you're made of when we get out in the thick. Crew wants some new trophies to put butts in chairs at the Hip Hog, so I'm gonna bag him 5 nasty metalheads at the pumping station. Don't wet your fur, Chili Pepper, because we're rolling with the Peacemaker.
Woo! I need one of those! Where'd you get it?
Don't ask. Zig needs someone to watch his back while he tracks the metalheads, eh?
We'll meet at the pumping station. Listen, Cherries, don't you leave me dangling in the wind out there.
Let's do it.
Yeah, pretty standard. I mean,
Cherries,
just kind of setting some stuff up. That's
Follow
fine.
me, stick close and watch my sis.
I don't know. It's not till close to the second act of the game, I think, where the story beats really pick up that I have a lot to say. But we'll just go through it all anyway. Yes, that's my boy Sig. Voiced by Phil Lamar. I guess this is a good time to talk about how really good Jak II's cutscenes do look. Like, if you see the direct comparison between Jak and Daxter and Jak II, there's like a huge difference in the fidelity of the graphics. I know that Naughty Dog took some cues from Insomniac, who did the Ratchet and Clank, where they kind of figured out how to load in higher poly assets during cutscenes that aren't what you see during normal play.
Great warrior, I sense there is a dark rage burning within you, and in time it will destroy you with its madness.
That's
Only
bullshit.
The power of the precursors can save you.
Sorry, you know what? I was wrong, actually. Dark Jak makes an appearance in these parts. Okay, I'm sorry. Where he zaps you with Dark Eco and then suddenly you get new power.
You do well to rid the world of this metal scourge. As a reward, I grant you a dark power.
See, I do just kind of want more of this, though.
I've always feared you, angry one. Even now, the metalhead leader realizes you can destroy him and save the last chance for our race. You now have control of another dark power.
But how does just zapping Jak with a bunch of Dark Eco make him? How does that make him learn the dark powers? Whatever. Like, I get it.
Protected this young soul in our moment of truth. I grant you another dark power. The forces of evil are converging. Only by destroying their leader will we ever know true peace. All will be made clear to you as the ending gives birth to the beginning in the great circle of time.
Who cares? Like, I get it. It's a easy way to convey the
You boys are
information.
turning out to be quite useful, eh? I have another task for you. The sewers used to be a fabulous smuggling route for me before the Baron installed security devices.
And before those late-night snack runs kept you from fitting out the front door.
I bet you've hatched another brilliant plan in that hungry little brain of yours. So, who or what do we have to shake down, knock out, or blow up?
Well, I need someone to go down and shoot every sentry gun in the sewers. And I'll give you a sweet weapon upgrade if you succeed.
Let me guess. Dank murky water? Reeks worse than your breath at an oyster fest? Fuller of metalheads than your plate at a one-pass
You know,
buffet?
all things considered,
And of course,
Crew puts up with a lot of Daxter's bullshit for no reason.
whiteys on a hot summer day. Look, donut hole. Why don't we float around here looking
Like-
hot and heavy, and you go roto the pipes?
We're
Crew,
not doing anything
despite
until
being
you
a
tell us why metalheads are trading
criminal,
with the Baron's forces.
I think he's actually pretty reasonable.
All
You know, except for the part where he
is that the Baron cut
lets
a
the
desperate deal
metalheads
with
in
a
the city, except for
metalhead
that
leader.
part.
Metalheads need eco, so the Baron supplies them with regular shipments. In return, the Metalheads agree to attack the city just enough to satisfy the Baron's continued rule.
Yeah, but how long can that deal last?
Well, the Baron is running short on eco, eh? And the Metalheads are short on patience. Baron Praxis needs this war to keep in power. Otherwise,
Or else
the city
what?
would put the true ruler on the throne.
Who's the city? Who is the city? Like the underground? I don't understand where this keep in power bullshit comes into play. Like, who the city would put the real ruler on the throne? Like, why wouldn't? Who's the city? The all I can think of is the underground, and it's like 6 members. I understand that the ploy is that there's the deal going on with the metalheads, and Kor is in the city looking for the Tomb of Mars so he can get the Precursor Stone. Like, that's his end goal here, because he wants to consume the Precursor Stone, because either he just really likes fried Precursor Stone, or it'll make him more powerful, or something like that. I don't know. That's what he wants, though. That's his goal. And this deal to keep it to attack the city just enough, I guess, is satisfying Kor. Like, I guess he's going along with it. I don't know why, because maybe he thinks that the underground or Baron Praxis will lead him to the Precursor Stone first, or he thinks Jak will. It's a little contrived, but I'll buy it. But this bullshit about Baron Praxis' political nature to stay in power, like he's like a totalitarian dictator, like a pure fascist. He probably doesn't need anything to stay. Like, he just has that power. Like, he has a military police force that nobody has proven powerful enough to overwrite. Maybe he's cut a deal with the metalheads because he doesn't feel that he's strong enough to destroy them. But if Kor isn't planning to destroy them in the first place, what's the point? Whatever. I'll go along with it for now.
Wherever that little brat is.
Daxter and I will clear your sewers. And we haven't forgotten about that weapons upgrade you promised in return.
Bloodsuckers. What is that horrible smell?
We spend a lot of time with Crew in the early game.
We do your
He's got a
dirty work in
Lurker
the
Shark
sewers
trophy,
and
though.
come back smelling worse than a wet hip hog
fun.
in a warm barn.
That's a fun callback
This could have a
because
serious
we don't have
impact on the
Lurker
lady
Sharks
factor.
in Jak II. In Jak and Daxter, they were a be-all, end-all,
It was my lunch,
insta-kill. If you were swimming
Nice
in deep
work
water,
the
you were
sewers,
fucked.
eh? I guess you're
Also,
looking
his
for
his
that
his, his
weapon upgrade.
bar is called the Hip Hog Heaven,
There's a
and he's got a
Boston
little
mob
Hip Hog
stashed in
fan.
some crates
That's
up
another
there.
callback to Jak and
Find it,
Daxter.
and
You
it's
don't have
yours.
those. Crisp sound, though. Like,
One of the Baron's mining operations is under attack by the metalheads.
That's not our problem.
It is our problem when the foreman's one of the underground's best informants. His name is Vin, and he's just valuable enough to save. Find the warp gate at the power station and use it to travel to the strip mine so you can rescue Vin's pathetic hide.
Hey, tattooed wonder, how come we get all the crappy missions?
Because I don't like you.
Fair enough.
Whatever deal the Baron made with the metalheads, the city's eco is almost gone, and his time is running out. If we don't get the kid back on the throne soon, there may not be a city left to defend.
Ah! Stay back! Do something, Jak! This guy's crazy!
Hey, are you Vin? We're here to help. Torn sent us.
Stay back!
Well, if we were here to kill you, you wouldn't be talking right now.
Oh, friendlies? Oh, thank goodness. Where's the army? Where it? What? Just you two? What do they think I'm worth?
I'm beginning to wonder that myself. If you want, you can stay here and be metal meat. But Daxter and I are leaving before those monsters get back.
I like Vin. He fits right in. I think he's a good character. He's definitely unique.
I have a proposition for you, Jak. Racing is the biggest sport in the city. Errol is the undisputed grand champion. He's crazy and dangerous on the track. My kind of guy. Only a fool would dare race against him, eh? And that's where you two come in. A client of mine is looking for a fast driver for her racing team. Here's a security pass to get you into the stadium section. And your contract with just a few trifles for me. I've already signed your name to save time.
We, the racers, hereby agree to give crew all proceeds from race earnings, endorsement fees, broadcast royalties, syndication residuals, vehicle sponsorships, small appearance fees, collectible card assets, fast food tie-ins, use of likeness rights, talk show deals, clothing lines, all print rights, including book, novella, comic, pamphlet, ticket tape, neon sign, and bathroom graffiti designs. Toy rights, shoe lines, mood rings, game rights. Game rights? Vitamin endorsements, city kickback movie deals, and of course, all
movie deals.
Accident insurance claims.
We can work out the tiny details later. If you can get from here to the race garage near the stadium in less than 3 minutes, my client said she would consider letting you drive for her team. Make me proud,
Hey, Sugar Plum. You new here? Well, what you got that's, hot? And wait, I've seen you before. You're with the Underground.
Shh! I'm Tess. Torn sent me to spy on Crew. Play along, and I may be able to get my hands on a few of Crew's secrets.
Ooh, I love undercover work, baby. But, two can work better than
Remember
one.
in Jak II when Tess was like a real character, and then in Jak III she's just this fucking weirdo zoophile?
Ooh, that goes down,
Like, Tess actually feels like a actual human in this game.
How about this purple stuff?
Jak III, she's just like this freak.
I need you and that talking rat to go around and make a few collections for me.
Hey there, Five Gins. How's crimes?
What's his problem, eh?
Nothing. I'm just fine. Mind your own business. I sometimes feel so very...
Listen,
very
I have 6 clients around town who are about to make money drops for me. I need you to collect each money back as fast as you can. And take care of any guards who get curious. Get your money back too late, and some
feeling
sound.
so dry. You know what's the trouble with you, Crow? You got no vision. This place could be a real swinging joint. Hot egg heaven with more dancing, more macking, more women. Jak knows what I'm
Just collect
talking
all
about.
14 money bags before they disappear, and bring them back here. If you lose even one bag,
love you,
then
man.
don't come back, eh? Quite the money collectors, eh? Here's a gun upgrade. Now get out! I need my beauty now.
Trust me, brother. There aren't enough hours in the day.
Like, Crew takes a lot of shit from Daxter.
Crew
He
said
doesn't
someone was
have
looking
to.
for a race driver.
I'm busy right now. You must be Crew's new errand boys. Look, I don't mean to be rude. You did get here fast.
But I'm not interested in any new drivers right now. And I've got work to do.
Is there anything we can do?
No! I'm working on a secret vehicle project.
Okay, sorry.
Listen, if you think you've got the guts to race in this,
How does no
try
one
taking my
recognize that
prototype
as Kira?
jetboard
Like,
out on the stadium course. Beat the stadium challenge, and maybe I'll consider.
to be fair, I've heard the beta version of this cutscene, and apparently she actually did have like something modifying her voice. I don't know why they dropped it. Maybe they just thought it was unnecessary to hide it from the player, or... but it seems weird.
Stadium challenge.
Great. People do get lucky. Listen, don't you have someone to collect money from or beat up or something?
You don't like us, do you?
You work for that slimeball crew. What's not to like?
Looks like you've won a few races. Isn't it true the city champion gets to tour the palace?
Yeah. Why?
Could you get me into the palace?
A friendly visit, I gather.
Yeah, I'm a real fan of the Baron.
I do like Mike Irwin's performance as Jack. He has a very definitive voice for him, I think. Very chill.
That old lift might take you up to the palace if you can find a way to turn on the elevator's power.
One of my old guard comrades was sent to the pumping station. There's been no word from the patrol, and after what you guys ran into out there, I'm afraid she may need some help.
Did you say she?
Don't even think about it. Stop that! This is serious, you moron.
That's right. Don't mess with the sugar.
This friend of mine has helped the underground many times before.
Why doesn't Torn ever
Go back
fucking
to
do
the pumping
anything?
Station and take a look around. Render assistance if needed. Now get your squirrely ass.
You know, it's actually a shame because they have a cut. There's a cut mission in Jak II with Torn where
What the heck are we doing, risking our lives to rescue some old Crimson God hag anyway? He's probably got more facial hair than me.
Who the hell are you two?
I do love a woman in uniform. Want to bark some orders at me? Woof woof. I'm your soldier on the front lines of love. Waiter, foxhole for two.
Keep talking and I'll raise your voice a couple of octaves.
Easy. Torn asked us to help you.
I don't need help, but you might. We've got company.
Watching me take care of those metalheads was pretty exciting.
this is
Wasn't it,
man
Shane?
so horny.
Hey! Sweet stripes! Give me them digits so I can look you up sometime! We'll party hard! Big city style!
Tell Torn Baron Praxis
He
is planning something
does
big.
nothing but
I think it
ignore
has
him.
to do with
Actually,
that
I think
symbol.
I just think it's really funny.
It's the seal of the House of Mar, the founder of Haven City. We're being sent out on suicide missions to locate artifacts from the time of his rule. If curiosity's worth dying for, you can ask the blind old soothsayer in the bazaar named Onin. She might know something about all this. Here's my bazaar access security pass.
She just keeps it in her tits.
Huh?
Where are
Sure,
you?
why not? Like there's a cut mission in Jak II where you and Torn help defend the wall from a metalhead attack, and then he has sort of an arc where he's like he realizes that his struggle wasn't about the Baron, it was about the city. You know, it's not about fighting the Baron, it's about saving Haven City. And it's a pretty nice little scene that just now doesn't exist in the game for some reason. Instead, Torn just does fuck all the entire game.
Those metalheads have been attacking our mining operations, and we're running out of eco. Eco power keeps the city shield walls up, and if the shield drops, well, we can all kiss our butts
Like,
goodbye.
I know why Vin sends Jak out on missions to do shit for him. He's just like this fucking nerd who sits in his power station working on shit. Yes, like he's... Why does Torn need me to do everything for him? Like, Torn needs me to go do this, he needs me to do that, he needs to go save Alex, he needs me to fucking suck his dick. Like, why can't this man do anything? Now, obviously, the nature of the game is that it's gonna be, like... Obviously, they're gonna send me on missions when I go to NPCs.
Check out all the dead stuff.
Ow! Touch the goods again, rat
But
boy.
would it have hurt to
You
give
may
Torn
are
anything to do
counting
during the
your
entire
thoughts.
game, like, actively?
I am Pecker. Yes, I know. My mother, she was...
That joke never gets old, actually.
I am Onin's interpreter.
It's funny.
Onin welcomes you, blah, 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 blah.
It's a dick
the
joke.
usual boring salutations.
His name is Pecker.
She says it is good to see you again, Jak.
but we've never met before.
This is a slang
Before,
term
after,
for fucking
it is
dick.
all the same.
Ow, ow, let me try.
That's right. So he says that and they're laughing at him.
No, I got it. For many moons, she has waited for a juice pop, a jewel shop. Oh, I know. She's got a hairball, a hair lip, a hairy chest.
Close. But no. Onan says you seek answers about the Tomb of Mar.
So what do we need to know?
Wait, see, this is where things get a little jumbled, in my opinion. They shouldn't have said that. Fuck the Tomb of Mar. Okay, fuck it. Like, obviously the Tomb of Mar is gonna be in the game. That's not what I'm saying. It's like, you show up to this, the blind old soothsayer. I mean, obviously because Ashlyn was the one who prompted Jak to go check out Onan. But she should have been like, you seek answers about yourself, your turmoil within. You know, something of that nature. Like, we're 1/3 the way into the story. We're approaching the... Like, we're getting close to the second act. And Dark Jak hasn't even, like, come up at all. It's not going to get brought up at all until the Act 1 boss fight against the Baron. And even then, it's not really that important. Like, already the narrative is switching from Jak finding vengeance to just being a fucking cog in the game's plot. Like, oh, we need to go to the Tomb of Mar because we're going to learn about the Precursor Stone. Like, I don't give a fuck. Why does Jak care? You could say it's in his nature. Like, you could say that Jak, no matter what, is in some level degree the one who's going to do good. But I thought this was a story about his deep inner turmoils and conquering his dark nature. But I haven't seen any of that so far. All I've seen Jak do is a bunch of fucking busy work. I haven't actually seen, like, any character development at all. He's already becoming, like, mellow. And it's like the writing for the game. It's like they just... I think Jak II just went through so many fucking writing draft stages that they just lost the plot. Because for the first, I don't know, 15 or so minutes, Jak's character stays very consistent, where he's very standoffish, he's aggressive. He's like not taking anyone's shit really. And now that's starting to change, where he's getting chummier for seemingly no reason.
Siesta time. Onan wants you to recover 3 artifacts from the Precursor Mountain Temple. Not 2, not 4, 3. Use the warp gate at the northwest side of the city and bring back the 3 items you find.
And we just gloss over all this precursor stuff. Like, the Mountain Temple is really the first place in the game we get to it. And it's the first time we feel like we're back in Jak and Daxter, where we've got all this precursor stuff, and it feels a lot like the areas we saw in the first game. Specifically the Precursor Basin. And it's never really talked about. I wish that they had brought more light to what might have happened to a lot of the precursor stuff in the area. Integrated that with the ideas of eco.
This puppy's got some vibration to
Maybe.
it.
Just an idea.
Maybe it'll put a smile on your face.
Instead, all we get is fucking a fetch quest with a bunch of jokes from Daxter.
Something's cooking.
I guess it's fine, but wouldn't it be more interesting to explore the world here?
Finn, buddy, we need a favor.
I can't help you with your eco bill.
We need you to switch on the access elevator in one of the palace's support towers.
Sheesh! That's part of the old B-zone power grid. It hasn't worked for years.
Well, if it's too hard for you, I understand. Power stuff can be tricky.
Tricky? I could route the B-zone conduit lines through the bypass grid, shunting past the eco rings to connect inductor tubes in series, then back through the outer wall insulator helix and across the resonant flux routers into the number 5 capacitor array. Assuming the circuit's GX75B can handle the surge, I could link the phase loop lines into the primary coils, and presto, you've got instant lift juice.
Ben, you're a genius.
Actually, Mar was the genius. People say he made most of this
What a
stuff
nice
long
guy.
ago. The shield wall system, the eco grid. Anyway,
He doesn't even fully accept the compliment. He's just like, no, this stuff was already here. I've just learned it. Like, what a guy.
5 of them. That doesn't sound so tough. No, except those power boxes are guarded by motion sensing turbo cannons. But if you can destroy the cannons,
It's like one of the
and
easiest
switch
missions in the
boxes
game.
on, I can do the rest. Just don't tell the Baron I ever saw you.
Alright, here we go. So this is where things start to get interesting. This is where we start getting into stuff I actually wanted to talk about.
I will have more eco by week's end. We'll transport it directly to your nest, as promised.
A deal is of no value if you can't deliver, my dear Baron. I grow impatient with your puny gestures. Give me the agreed upon eco soon, or the deal is off, and your precious city will pay the price.
He's toying with us. Let me lead an assault on the nest before it's too late. I can take him.
Patience, Commander. No one has ever penetrated the Metalhead nest, you know that. I've seen what comes of such foolish plans. No.
So the Baron is pretty stoic in the sense that
We trained them to eat
he believes he's doing the right thing.
Move forward.
That's
with
an
the plan.
interesting character
Tell
motive.
Evelyn to up her patrols. I want that tomb found.
But your daughter has not been agreeable.
But
I'll see to that.
it's flawed by what a like insufferable dickhead he is.
And find that child. If you'd spent half as much time looking for the little brat as you spent flirting with that mechanic girl, we would have pinned his royal ass to a wall long ago.
As you wish. With enough persuasion, I'm sure our spy. What was that?
Are you serious, dude? Come on. That was such a weak way of writing this scene out. Come on, like that was elementary.
We have a rat in the walls, do we? A rat and his boy, it seems. Back for a few more dark eco treatments? Will allow me to put you both out of your misery.
Like that was really weak. Something else should have happened. I mean, Daxter sneezes like at the opportune time while Errol starts talking about their spy, like in the underground. Right as he starts talking about something like, oh, Daxter sneezes. Like, are you fucking serious? That is beyond weak. Anything else could have happened. Maybe like a big bolt of lightning strikes behind Jack, and their shadows illuminate from the window pane down below. Maybe something like anything. I mean, it's equally as happenstance, but at least it's less, like, it's already raining. Might as well do something with the set piece. And we can discern information from Errol or the Baron by being able to pick up on a micro detail that quickly. If a lightning bolt struck from behind them and illuminated their shadows onto the floor below, and in that split second Errol was able to identify that there was an intruder, that would say a lot about his character. That he's got crazy fast reaction speed. I mean, he might as well, because he's like a belligerent racer. He probably does see and think very quickly. Unfortunately, we never really see that, I guess.
The dark powers I gave you can't protect you forever! Since I made you, I can destroy you.
Oh.
We'll meet again.
Talk about Dark Jack for like 1 second.
Yeah, whatever. Bye-bye.
It would be interesting to see Dark Jack start to play a role
On high alert. What the
again.
hell you two do?
Us? Nothing. We've been
Or
sightseeing.
maybe...
Really? Then why are the Crimson Guard looking for
I don't know.
dangerous young
We
man
should
with a
incorporate
light-haired
Dark Jack
blue
by this
tunic
point in the
and a
story
ragged
again.
orange rat on his shoulder?
Especially in the Act 1 climax like that.
Look, we
It
climbed up to
could
the
have been...
Baron's palace and we tripped a few alarms.
Oh, right. That's who.
What?
I didn't authorize a strike on the...
Hey, we kicked the Baron's ass. Unfortunately, he escaped.
Also, that map had no backface culling. It has a little piece under there. I saw right there. You can see it, the way that it's like rolled up piece of paper, but it's like clipping through this. Oops. But Dark Jak really should have had some sort of implementation at this point in the game. In the Act 1 climax, which was the Baron boss fight, Dark Jak should have played some role by now. It could have been really anything that shows the extreme nature of Jak's evil instincts, whether it could be overtly threatening, being overtly powerful. We could have maybe flipped the script and made him go, if he'd gotten his hands on the Baron and I don't know, maybe he's about to start brutalizing the man. Maybe he's really like got him in his clutches, about to rip him to shreds. Maybe it takes Daxter to call him back to sanity, and in that moment the Baron makes his escape or something like that. Because the Baron's still like a human, right? Like he's like an evil person who made Jak this way, but isn't it a point to talk about Jak losing his humanity by achieving vengeance in such a horrible way? Like, would Daxter be okay with letting Jak go through with such like a violent murder, however he would decide to kill the Baron in those moments? That says a lot. There's like dynamics of character. Like Daxter's always this annoying comic relief, but maybe he does have a moral stance. Maybe he doesn't really want to watch maybe he really doesn't want to watch Jak rip a man apart. Maybe it's frightening to him to see Jak be so unrecognizably monstrous. Who knows? And maybe he should pull him back, kind of like he did in the intro, or the opening cutscene. Something like that. And then the Baron makes his escape. Then we don't see him again till the end of Act 2. Something like that. Instead, we have the Dark Jak set up, and we've done nothing with it, and we're 1/3 done with the game now.
He escaped.
Yeah.
No, he was on some communicator, but we heard him talking with Baron Praxis.
The Baron is bribing the metalheads with ego.
It will never be enough.
But the Baron's gonna double-cross him.
Is that so? Well, our good Baron's wonderful charm must have angered someone, because there's word from the wasteland that metalhead armies are on the move again.
No, not the wasteland.
Was Praxis's daughter. What's your connection with her?
That's none of your business. Since you've stirred up the Wumpy's nest, you and Whiskers here
The Wump Bee. What the fuck is a Wump Bee?
Shuttle each agent to a location.
Why didn't you just call it a bee? We're getting fucking Avatar syndrome, where everything has to be some like weird combination creature, even though it's stupid.
Scouts report movement in Dead Town. Creatures moving toward the sacred site, just as before.
What happened, before?
Metalheads broke through the old city wall. We fought them, but then the Baron pulled back, leaving everyone outside the new barrier to die. Only the Shadow stayed and somehow stopped the attack.
And now you expect us to go out there again?
You catch on fast if you prevent the metalheads from reaching
Like, why is the Baron so insufferably evil? He really shouldn't be. He really should be more gray.
Probably wasting this, but here's a Vulcan barrel for that pea shooter of yours. Believe me, you're gonna need it.
Like, is the Baron a justifiable evil? I feel like that should be the argument, although the game doesn't seem to care about making that point.
Is that? No, it couldn't be. That's not...
It's Samos's hut.
But what? How? When? Where? Why?
We're in the future, Dax.
The first
This
conclusion is the
horrible
future.
Place is our world.
Well, whatever. We don't have all day for a cutscene, so we'll just make him jump to the conclusion right away.
The Shadows decided it's time to meet you.
Why is that place in the old ruins so important to you?
There's a powerful energy force at the old house. The metalheads are drawn to it.
No kidding. We used to know the guy that lived there.
So, you're the new recruits who keep getting into trouble.
Oh, no, not you!
Welcome to our humble underground movement. I am known as the Shadow, but you may call me Samos. And you are?
Jeez, Jack, we went through all that to meet His Holiness, old log-in-the-head Grandpa Green?
Don't you know who we are?
But
sorry, kid. Never seen you before. And I
I
never
do like
forget
that the bird
one
is
that ugly.
still an egg.
So it begins.
That's a nice
How
detail.
is this possible? We came through the rift with you. Into the future, right?
Yeah, you used to look older than dirt and uglier than a knotted stump. What gives? Did you get a little nip and tuck while we were gone?
Listen, boys, I don't know what kind of twigs you've been chewing on, but I don't have time for this. We've got a baron to overthrow, a child heir to protect, an invasion of metalheads to stop, and a city to save. I'd say the schedule's pretty full. Besides, I haven't gone through any rifts. I hate teleporting.
Sure sounds like the old Samos.
Right now, I need you to go to Haven Forest and root out a few metalheads. That forest is my source of power, but I can't protect it much longer. Chase down and destroy all the metalhead scouts you find there. Good luck, and welcome to the fight.
Yeah, we get to have the jetboard.
I call shotgun.
That's neat, cause we get a. Kira's like, oh, fuck, you work with the underground, so. Oh, you could just keep the jetboard. It's
I want the boys to escort the kid over to Core at the power station. He promised to look out for the boy, and I'm just too busy to babysit right now. Oh, and take the kid's crocodile with you. Oh, isn't he sweet?
So what's this kid's story?
I found him just wandering the streets, but that amulet around his neck means he may...
You just found him just wandering the streets, like he was just walking around the streets. The literal emphasis of this mission is the kid walking around in the streets, and like every fucking Crimson Guard in a 5-mile radius wants to nab him. And you just found him walking the streets before? That's a little contradictory, don't you think?
Samos told us to bring the kid to you.
Thank you.
It's like, it's like, this is like first draft kind of mistakes. Like, this is what you write when you haven't filled in the gap yet.
Mutt never liked anyone but the boy before.
Yes, foreshadowing.
I hope we have enough eco to keep the metalheads at bay. During my travels in the deep wasteland, I saw some of the bigger ones. Awesome creatures.
We saw a big one coming out of a rift once. He was ugly.
I have some valuable information for you. The Baron is conducting an excavation at the dig. He is still looking for that ridiculous tomb. Frankly, I don't believe it exists, but you might as well go out there and disrupt his operation just in case. Knock down all the scaffolding at the site. That should set him back. Here is an air train pass to get you out there.
It also belongs to Ashlyn. That's actually a nice, the shot. I really like it. The older Jak and younger Jak, in some way, shape, or form, overlapping with each other. It's a very interesting angle that I think was done intentionally.
Riding in the hood, Red.
Get out of the area. This is Crimson Guard business. One of Vin's eco-tankers is coming in from the wasteland, but the clearance transmission sounded fishy. The driver was scared. We're going to check it out, just in case.
How can we help?
I've got it handled.
A metalhead sneak attack!
Oh no.
Just off.
So,
Help me take out all the metalheads. We got them all. The metalheads are getting bolder every day. It's almost like they're testing our defenses. Like
yo, Ashlyn's got some weird ass
I've got a bad
eyes.
feeling about this.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Baron sent his goons to harass me as usual, eh? Health violations, back taxes. Everyone wants a piece of me. Oh well.
Lucky for you, there's plenty to go around.
Destroying that cargo in the port is more important than you know, eh? I've got a new project going, and I don't need anyone snooping around my shipments. Let's just say, if everything goes as planned, I'm going to corner the market in metalhead trophies. Anyway, I have another job for you. An associate of mine, Bruta, works with me in the forced labor trade.
You mean the slave trade?
I prefer freedom challenged. Lurkers are the city's low-class labor. Bruta pays me
Lurkers?
lurkers and get them safely out of the city.
Bringing back lurkers is interesting.
And I need his money.
Lurkers? We don't like lurkers.
But you do like gun
I like how Crew doesn't care that they're like, to not like lurkers in this political sphere is probably seen as racist. And maybe it's not racist because it's accepted that they're low class, but like it's like a very racist statement. And Crew doesn't give a fuck. He's like, well, if you don't want to do the job, I'll pay you more, right?
No toucher, the dude.
Oh, sorry.
Bruder has hair.
Bruder, not forget. Bruder, pay you back. You see.
Years ago, when
And
I was an art collector.
I think it's interesting that Crew does, like, Bruder pays Crew to help. So Crew embodies a very interesting open market of what's the word I'm thinking of? Of crime lord, where he's not necessarily wholly evil. Like, obviously his margin is profit. He doesn't care. He doesn't have a bias though.
That's terrible.
He's not biased towards actually helping or assisting a certain cause. He only cares about who's paying him. So you could direct Crew's efforts towards positive outlets such as freeing slaves, which I find to be very interesting because it's there's all Kira does is bitch about what a slime ball Crew is, but he's accepting pay to do like good things in this case. So I can't argue that he's a wholly evil force in the city.
Wildest dreams, eh?
Great. More mucking in the mud.
I hate to burst your bathtub bubbles, baby, but that ain't just mud down there.
Key is very pretty.
Whoa! Got it. Where would you be without me, eh, Dax?
Well, Jack, I probably wouldn't be 2 feet tall, fuzzy, and running around in a sewer without a pair of pants. God, I miss pants.
Jack, we've still got trouble at the strip mine. I think the Baron set me up. Actually, I think everybody's trying to kill me.
What are you talking about?
Those eco wells the Baron had us drill? It seems he never intended to pipe them into the city grid. It doesn't make any sense.
Why didn't he?
Open eco wells will attract more metalheads.
Did they explain that while I wasn't looking? Because I don't truly understand why he did drill a bunch of eco wells and then doesn't intend to pipe them into the city grid. Why not?
Plasmite, huh? Cool. How does it work? Ah! I believe this is yours. Hey,
No, like for real, why not? Did they explain that?
No,
Well,
really, I insist.
it seems like the Baron needs all the eco he can get.
Oops. Sorry. My bad.
Great! Now you've armed the whole lot. Don't move. On second thought, move! Far away! Go through the portal and drop one bomb into each eco well before they all go off. You only have 2 minutes!
So, blow up all the eco wells. Like, then what happens? Like, they'll blow up. That's just the end of it. Completely pointless mission. We didn't achieve anything.
What a brain wreck. Vin sure is scared of metalheads.
And for good reason. I've seen what metalheads do when they take a city. The destruction, the killing, the devouring. The Baron's scheming will only result in this city's falling prey like all the others before it. We must
What
replace
others
Praxis
before?
it's too
Can we
late.
talk about them a little?
Happy
No?
to say
Okay.
that you and your sidekick are causing quite a stir in our fight against the Baron.
You hear that, Jack? You're the sidekick. Hey, Wise and Whiskered, you, got something itching under your robes? They have ointment for that, you know.
It's just my aching bones.
Bones.
We have heard the Baron is sending one of his large tanker ships out to the drill platform to pick up a load of ill-gotten eco.
Ill-gotten
Go out
eco.
to the drill
What does that
platform
mean
through the
exactly?
warp
Can you
gate.
elaborate, please?
Knock out that ship. The Shadow will send a team from the underground to pick up the eco later.
I actually think
We're counting on you.
I actually think that this was just an inside job by Core. I think that the eco went straight to metalheads.
Nastiest metalheads you ever saw. Slime oozing from monstrous jaws. Teeth sharper than daggers. Slowly, all 10 of them surround me. But do I surrender? No! I summon my highly trained killer instincts and pounce. And when the dust cleared, there were 20 less metalheads in the world.
Oh, Daxter, you're amazing.
Yeah, scratch me there.
Quite a
I
story
guess Tess
there.
kind of is a little bit of a weirdo
I
in this
guess you're
game,
just
but
the animal I need for another dangerous gig. Combat metalheads have now been spotted right here in Haven Forest. These new bad boys have special camouflage, so they're tough to spot. But I'm sure with your killer instincts, you'll manage. Go to the forest and take them all out.
We destroyed Crew's cargo.
Great. I'll send you a medal. Now, if you don't mind, I'm on a deadline, so
Are
scram.
you always this difficult?
Let me handle this, Jack. Listen, lady, we beat your stupid course, and we can outrace anybody in this city.
Wait, that voice.
Now, there's just 2 things you need to know. 1, we don't want to join your stinking race team. And 2, you just lost a date with Orange Lightning. Let's go, Jack.
Daxter, it is you!
Kira!
Oh, I never thought I'd be so glad to see your furry
Kira just,
pug.
she didn't even get a slight costume change.
Different.
It's been a tough ride.
The Baron pumped our boy here full of dark eco, and it
It's actually a really nice scene. There's a lot of
moves or something.
body acting, like a lot of good body language and animation.
And planning a way to get us back home. Somehow that rift took us far into the future. I've calculated the time displacement, and
We
I
found
think
your
I've got
father. Well, sort of.
Working with the underground, fighting the Baron. But he's,
what?
You need to go see him. And I need to get to the Baron.
You could try to win the Class 1 Racing Championship. The winner of that big race always gets to meet the Baron in the palace. But you have to qualify by winning the lower class races. There's a Class 3 race starting soon. You could drive for my team. But Jack, we should think about getting out of here. I don't like this place. And some of the people are creepy.
Yeah.
I need
This is the first time we ever get to see Crew outside of the fucking little bar. Like he came all the way out here just to spoil the scene, like, because we need to show Jack working directly with Crew. Like Kira needs to see it.
gonna provide some challenge, huh?
Hey, I watched your race today. You were pretty amazing out there.
Oh, thanks. Kira, this is Ashlyn. She's just...
Everyone knows who she is.
And Kira's,
A friend. A very good friend.
Thanks for helping out with that tanker, Jack.
Oh, goodness.
You saved a lot of lives. I'm not my father, you know. Ever since I was a little girl, I've looked down at the city streets from that ridiculous palace and imagined a better place.
It's kind of a cringe line, if I'm not.
By the way,
being
they're
honest.
hunting for you. I'd watch out for Errol. I can't protect you from him.
Can't protect it from.
She's a Betty. And she likes you, Jack. Not that I can account for her tastes.
We'll talk
Bet
about
you'd love to
Errol.
pin some medals on her chest, huh?
Women. Actually, you know what? That's completely accurate. I gotta give them credit for that one. Like,
That is it. Piece of seal, yes?
woman moment.
Shiny, huh? All yours. Uh-oh. I think Red Trooper's approaching.
The Birdbrain and I were just talking about you, Jack. Onan is very proud of what you did.
What I did?
What you did, what you do, it's all the same.
Will you stop with the deja voodoo stuff? It's creepy.
Onan says you
Yeah, okay,
must find the Tomb of Mar.
Must find the Tomb of Mar.
62, but only the one true heir of Mar.
See,
we believe the kid is the key.
this is the part where Jack should say something like, I don't care about the tomb.
He alone must circumvent
Just want
the
to fuck
cunning
with the
deaths of
Baron.
He alone must wield the precursor stone,
Like,
thereby unleashing the...
there should be some sort of...
Stop with this snooty mythic
like,
talk already,
Jack
huh?
needs
You
to
know that it hurts
go
my
through some
lips.
sort of failure,
Why
right?
is Mars'
Like,
tomb so important?
he's done nothing but
Precursor
win,
stone is
honestly.
rumored to sleep within the tomb, stupid. I added the stupid part. The
How
precursor
about
stone
we see the
contains
part
vast
where
eco-energy.
he disregards all of his new friends and goes at the Baron by himself, but the Baron is finally one step ahead of him.
I just love seeing that last part.
That's when he
Baron
gets
wants
the
precursor stone for
idea
himself
to,
rule the world, but he is playing with
you know,
forces
find the Tomb
he
of
does
Mar.
not understand.
Okay, Pecker. So how do I get this precursor stone?
Instead, we
First,
we
you must
do
go to the
get
dig and
this
find
moment
broken
where the Baron is ahead, where he gets the stone. That's true, but it just kind of feels like an unnecessary consequence. Like,
all three pieces of the seal.
really, there's no provocation to it. Like, there's no hubris. He just fucking swoops in and oh, you led me right to the stone. Oh, fuck you. It's so weak. Jack needs to undergo some sort of humiliation in a way, something that levels him back down, so he starts to understand the need for allies. Instead, he's done nothing but carry everyone and do everything. Like, it's honestly, it's kind of boring.
I think this time you should go get the thing.
Oh, Jack, we need to find the Tomb of Mar. Why? I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna kill the Baron with my bare hands.
It's a curse, isn't it?
Maybe I'm taking the story too seriously, but when Jak II came out, all anyone wanted to talk about was it's so dark and edgy. It's darker and grittier, dirtier, and you know, all it wanted to tout was how much edgier it was and how proud of itself being a GTA clone it was. But then you get down to the thick of it, and like every other scene still has Daxter making an annoying joke.
Down pretty hard. Whatever you've been doing, you've really upset him.
I'm just getting started.
He's brought in new Crimson Guard Hellcat
Now,
cruisers.
obviously, Daxter, I'm not saying the game has to be devoid of humor, but it just kind of feels like the tone is getting middled with Daxter reducing all tension in the scene every other
Part of a
scene.
bigger cause, eh, Jack? Fine. I'll take your help any way I can get it. Bring down all 5 Hellcat cruisers. That should send the Baron a message.
Expecting that little boy to save us is folly. At his age, he's no match for the metalhead leader. Oh, Jack, we were just talking about Samos's plan.
Onan says your voice sounds very familiar. I'll bet you two golden oldies go way, way back, huh? Onan needs you to prove yourself, Jack. You've shown your brass and your brawn. Now you must show your brains as well. Frankly, I think she's pushing it. But I'm not the boss. Beat this test, and the third piece to the seal will be revealed.
Great. More proving. Like, do they want me to fucking save them or not?
Onan says the 3 artifacts you retrieved from the mountain temple are relics from an ancient light tower. Old songs tell how this light tower once shined down on the actual site of Mars' tomb. I sing one of these songs for you. From the mists of time, Mars' light would shine.
Whoa there, Iron Lungs. Just tell us what we need to do.
Cretins with no taste, huh? Puh. You must take the 3 artifacts to Mars Gate. Only then will the light tower rise and reveal the tomb.
That looks like a piece of candy. Looks like one of those little caramel swirl hard candies.
Or the mint one.
True. So it's like, basically, what I'm trying to say is, why did someone suck all the fucking interesting parts out of Jak and Daxter when they made this game? we have all these. Look at this. I mean, they talked a little bit about the light tower. Oh, it shines down. Mars built it as Mars. Fucking in the cities. It's like we don't really talk about how it looks like this is an integration of like precursor and man-made technology, and maybe there could have been more stuff. Wouldn't it have been interesting to see more crossed over technology? Like the Baron's secret weapon isn't in finding the precursor stone, but maybe something regards the lines of something along the lines of precursor tech, kind of like in the first game.
It's the day I've long awaited to finally hold the fabled precursor stone in my hands.
You must be cautious, child. The tests of manhood are sure to be fraught with peril, and Mars Air...
See, this is where Jack's true character starts to come through that I actually like. Like, he shows concern for this kid, even though it doesn't seem like he even really liked him that much. Like, he starts to walk forward as if just accepting the responsibility himself. Like, it's just what he knows. He's going to take the selfless route. He's going to try and do it. I like that. It's a good moment.
What? No! Do something, Jack!
Jack, remember the shore to be filled to the brim with painful death pot?
Great tree limbs. He's going to face the tests.
No, he's gone to his death.
Freeze!
Yeah, so the Tomb of Mar, I don't really have much to say about it. I guess it's fine the way it is for the most part. It's just the way we get to it is, it's like this misunderstanding about what's interesting. I'm not really interested in the Tomb of Mar itself so much as what it means. I feel like there should have been something more that happens here. 'Cause I just keep having to go back to the point where there's been no actual like character progression for Jack. There's been no impetus, no hubris for his character to change. It's like we've just forgotten about the plot beats where he's full of anger and vengeance. And then the Dark Jack stuff, how he struggles with Dark Eco. Maybe... Like, what if the Dark Eco side of him formed in some sort of, like, addiction, maybe? Like a withdrawal? Maybe? So, like, as the story goes on and he unleashes Dark Jack more, it has greater consequences for him. Something in the Tomb of Mar should force that Dark Jack side out again. This reflection of Jack's darker nature needs to come out in one way, shape, or form. And once it does, it should make things harder for him going forward. Things that continue to force Jack to grow stronger under the circumstances or not be able to make it through. Like, instead, just nothing. I mean, we get a little history lesson about who the metalheads are, but honestly, I really couldn't care.
I think you've got me confused with someone else. I just want the stone.
See, now there's Jack acting a little ruthless, but we know it's bullshit.
Let's get the goods.
Boom! Brought me right to the stone. Your pitiful underground friends were no match for my guards above. Now I will gain the power I need to crush my enemies. And after claiming the stone, I'll begin with you.
Abomination. The precursor stone was not meant for you.
And what about the Baron? Sick of him being just this force of just nothingness. What does the Baron stand for? Like, what are his values?
Don't worry. I will use the stone to its full potential. Soon all who oppose...
Other than that, he has no regard for his citizenry. He has no regard for anyone's personal safety or well-being.
We were so close to making a move for the stone.
It's my fault. The Baron threatened to kill Ashlyn for spying.
And then we make it worse. Oh, he was gonna threaten to kill his own daughter. Like, Why? Come on.
So he can do whatever he wants.
There is still a way to get our friends back. Maybe the
Like, either you're really that fucking... You actually just gave into that demand, thinking he would actually do it. But, oh, we both know he would have done it. How do you know that? The Baron can't be that evil, right? Like, that's not... What kind of... Maybe he is that evil. Maybe he is. Like, maybe the game just wants me to believe that he is just this satanic figure of just monstrous evil magnitude. But why? Like, how can anyone fault Jak for wanting vengeance against this horrible man? And this will come into play in a little bit when Kira starts to get uppity about her political views.
Great yakkow horns! What happened to you, Jak?
Wait a minute. You're you. I mean, the other you. I mean, you know what I mean.
Yes, it appears I have an older time twin. Great grass grubs. I can't believe what a cranky old log I become.
Two Samos the Sages. Ah, Jak, they're multiplying.
We need to find the kid pronto. What are you talking about, old growth? The kid already opened the tomb. Our top priority should be to disrupt the Baron's forces.
I like how the young Samos doesn't give a fuck about the kid.
You know that the proper course of action is to find
He's like, we gotta fucking stop the Baron's forces. Fuck the kid. Who cares if he's dead or not? I don't care.
Do we have to separate you two?
Vin's activating the warp gate. We need to get out of here now.
That's cute, the way that the camera enters the gate. That's cute.
You boys are all right. And since the boss is out of it right now, I'm gonna give it to you straight. I've been cruise heavy for years, and I've done some things I'm not proud of. But this time, I think Crew's gotten himself and us into something really nasty. I'm thinking of getting out.
Oh, Sig's beginning to like us, Jak. Come here, you big lug. Hugs for everyone.
Knock it off! I think Crew's trying to...
Relax. Watch me butter up Bun Boy. Hey there, stuffed crust. How's it feel floating on top of the food chain? Ooh, Crewmeister. Have you been exercising? You're looking good. You are definitely living large. And those legs, they're so
Seems like this are like acceptable. Like they're perfectly good.
My boys down into the sewers and visit that statue again. I've heard that Mars' cheeky face might contain another secret, and I want you to see if the stories are true, eh? Make sure all three of my boys get to that statue, and they'll do all the rest,
Yeah, so we fucking... Yeah, here comes Jackie boy.
Sounds like I got killed.
Ah, the ceiling's crawling. Jak, metalheads everywhere.
It's a trap.
Pretty statue.
Stand back. We're professionals. All right, boys, let's blow this sucker sky high.
Wait, who told you to...
No!
I have a question. Why does Jak care if they blow up the statue? Like, why is he like seems really offended?
Thanks for the escort, buddy. We'll take it back to Crew.
Like it seems like Jak just has this respect for this. Oh, Errol,
Where's Kira?
the man I really wanted to talk about, but I'm not done with my last statement. So it's, why does Jak care about that statue getting blown up? Is because he seems to feel some sort of respect or maybe humbleness towards Mar, the founder of Haven City, right? Obviously, I don't find Jak to be like unhinged. So, but at the same time, he's gone through plenty of violent episodes of blowing things up and explosions. There's been a lot of those this game. You would think that he'd be almost completely indifferent about it, but it's I feel like it's the plot just forcing him to go into an altruistic direction when we don't have to. And we're 2/3 into the game and we've yet to talk about Dark Jak again.
enjoyed killing you in prison. But now,
Jesus.
it'll be so much more fun to take you on the track in front of the entire city. I can hear the roar of the crowd now as everyone sees their hope.
Why is Errol such a fucking maniac?
It's nice to be free again.
And why does Kira like this man?
Be my mechanic. Stay away from her.
Errol's the best racer I've ever seen.
He's not what you think.
And you're a good judge of character? Ha! Look at you. People say you get angry and change. Besides, the Jak I knew wouldn't be working
The
for a
Jak I knew crew. Here we are on about crew again. Who cares about working for crew? He also works for the underground. But like fucking she's not sucking his dick over that. Like, no, you work for crew. Fucking you would think someone like Kira, who seems to be so fucking adamant about, well, Cruz is just a terrible crime boss, you know, he's fucking human scum. But like Errol, guy's a maniac. Like Errol, in the races, people like die in the races. Like they fall into pit, they crash into things, they miss jumps, they crash into each other sometimes. Sometimes they crash into me and blow us both up. Errol has definitely murdered people during these championship races. 100% he has probably gone out of his way to inflict harm on a fellow racer. And that's probably not against the rules, but like Kira roots for this guy because he's just such a, like, Kira is not that fucking vain unless she's become vain, but we've seen no real signs of it. Like, obviously she has some sort of adamant stance about criminal activity. Maybe she's just really blindfolded to the militaristic police agenda. I could really see it being interesting if Kira has bought into this idea that the Crimson Guards are a force for good. Who can actually say that the Crimson Guards are a force for good? Okay, all they do is make the quality of life in Haven City worse. They are an active, occupying military force that you're forced to conscript into. The Baron, in the messages, the propaganda stations, the Baron talks about how it's mandatory for people to become Crimson Guards for a certain period of time or something like that. You have to conscript. You're forced into becoming a part of a militaristic occupational government that really doesn't seem to do anything, since there is no open war with the metalheads right now. There is no real need for such heavy occupancy. And maybe it's not fair to rope in information revealed from Jak III because Jak III wasn't written yet, but honestly the writers probably should have had some hindsight or not torched the previous game in the writing of Jak III. But when it's revealed that Baron Praxis overthrew the actual king, which was Damus, how can anyone side with that? The fact of the matter is that people don't side with it. There's just no argument for the Baron being a force for good. You could say he maintains the peace, but so far he maintains the peace by bribing his enemies. Now, this is probably the part where you say, well, the metalheads do attack the city, and they attack just enough. That's what the deal is, so that way people can see Baron Praxis in a political highlight. But really, who cares? People probably aren't gonna, actual humans, not stupid ones. I think Kira's not stupid, but she seems to be pretty fucking stupid, would see right through that ruse and know something's wrong with the way the metalheads attack the city or etc. Kira just proves she's so fucking daft and incapable of complete thoughts, all for the sake of forming drama with Jak. And I'm not against forming this drama. I think it's really interesting. I think it's really fun the way that Jak tells her to fuck off, basically. My boy Jak is not a simp, okay? He's whatever, I don't have to take this bullshit from you, and he fucking walks out right before a race too. Like, this man does not give a fuck, and I respect that. But what I don't respect is why they make Kira so stupid. And if they are going to have her take a political stance against Jak, why don't they elaborate on it? Why don't they talk about how the Crimson Guards at least make her feel safe? Like, they could talk about how Errol's favoritism towards her influences the way she's treated versus others. There's a lot of things we could delve into right here. On the flip side, why is Errol such a fucking lunatic? We could see Errol being a foil for Jak in a way, but he's kind of not. I feel like that's he's a, what do we call him? A rival maybe? But he's just like this fucking crazy person. Like, he's this bloodthirsty maniac for no reason. I think it would be far more interesting if Errol was an actual foil, where Jak's path of vengeance and his dependency on Dark Eco sends him down this turmoil where he's constantly making worse and belligerent decisions. Errol, on the other hand, while you can argue that he's like hot-headed or easily upset or something of that nature, why not write him to where he has some sort of moral stance? Like, he's willing to go along with the Baron, but maybe he is some sort of guidance against the use of lossless, avoidable losses in combat. I don't know, something like he wants to lead. So he wants to lead an attack on the Metalhead Nest, right? Like, he wants to take his own guards. Like, we prove that he's very rash. He gets angry. But we can argue that destroying the Metalheads is like a good idea. We can agree on that, right? Like, destroying the Metalheads is good. What if we made it a happenstance to where Jak actually disagrees with the destruction of the Metalheads? Like, Jak would stand to gain if the Metalheads attacked the city, like openly invaded it. Jak could stand to gain because it would weaken the Baron's hold on the city, which would give him the ability to strike directly at the Baron. We could see him siding more with Crew, and Crew does sell out the city in the end. He opens the city to the Metalheads. Maybe we could see Jak almost going towards that goal. Like, if Jak was aware of it but he didn't stop it. Or he could have actively participated in helping Metalheads get into the city, because that would weaken the city, allow Jak to strike at the Baron, because his dark nature has overwritten his sense of duty, of goodness. Alternatively, if you think that's too dark, you could maybe go a little softer and just make Errol less of a fucking crazy person. Like, why does Kira even like this guy? Well, he's such a good racer. Like, that's it? Is Kira, like, really that much of a basic bitch that it's all it takes to win her over is just being good at racing? Are you kidding me? She's way too smart for that. Like, I'm just saying, what a waste of a character. And then we don't even get to actually, like, fight Errol in this game. He just fucking... He's literally, like, hoisted by his own petard. He fucking drives into Jak, and Jak just gets out of the way and he blows up. I don't even get to beat the shit out of this guy with my own bare hands. The guy who helped make Jak the way he is.
Without my... You know what? Do it your way, and I'll do it mine. Just don't come crying to me when the walls fall down.
Jak, buddy? Where you going there, pal? Jak? Jak?
Attention all drivers. The Class 2 races will begin soon.
Now what are we gonna do?
And look, why does this bitch still have this shit-eating grin on her face? Like she just knows she's right. Fuck!
Just hold on tight and point the thingy where I want it to go, right? And then there's the other thingy that makes it go fast. Fast is good. I can do this. I'm ready to race. Now there's a handsome winner.
You did it, Daxter. You helped us qualify for the big race.
Did you ever doubt? I backseat.
This is a nice scene, actually.
Hey, when do I get the winner's big kiss?
Maybe later. If you're a good boy.
We showed those Class 2 losers a thing or two, huh?
I saw. You drifted a little high in the turns a few times, but you hung in there. I'm proud of you, Dax.
Really?
That was a nice scene. Shows that behind all of Daxter's fronts and exterior, he's actually humbled by Jak's approval.
The Baron
Nice
is still
words
up
that
to
he
his
has
old
to say.
tricks. The underground got word that several Crimson Blastbots are zeroing in on the hideout here. They're armored bombs which seek out targets. If any of those Blastbots reach this place,
Just a standard, here's your mission,
dead anyway.
mixed in with some humor to make it entertaining for
I
you.
wouldn't be in the state I am now.
Pretty
Take out those
standard.
Blastbots before they reach the hideout, Jak. They have proximity defenses, so do be careful. Good hunting.
I mean, the egg and the bird. Eggy bird. Haha. I love that little detail. It's nice. We get the Peacemaker.
All right, our own Peacemaker. Now we're rocking.
Hey, back to work, Toots.
She's working, Beach Ball.
What does anyone even do here? This bar is always empty.
Will be yet another trophy hung on these walls. Jak, I want you to throw the championship race. Just let Aaron win.
You bet against us?
Jak,
I think this is a nice setup.
it's just business.
I think it's good to remind the player that Crew is not actually friends with Jak. That he is just a cold, hard crime boss at the end of the day.
Because I'm going to race, and I intend to win.
Oh, you little... You're becoming more trouble than you're worth. I wouldn't get too comfy if I was you. Everyone's expendable.
In a hurry to die, boy? But we don't have to wait for the big race. We can do this right now, one-on-one, through the city.
Yeah, why is my man Jak kind of a manlet? He's like really short.
Miss even one ring and it's over. Kira already thinks you're a loser, and I'll prove it now, once and for all.
You're on.
Like, this is seemingly fine. I guess I don't really have a problem with this. Because, you know, we can keep Errol's hot-headed nature.
You were bottle-fed, weren't you?
Because it kind of clashes a lot with Jak, which makes for some interesting
I
scenes.
spent many
Goes
days
against
cleaning up
the
this place
sense
all
of him being a foil that I mentioned earlier, but it works fine. Life Seed,
Daxter, I suppose. Before we came through the rift long ago, I was nurturing that life seed from the great tree. It seems the metalheads are attracted to its power. Take the seed to Onin now. She will prepare it for Samos.
You mean you?
No, the other me, Daxter. My younger self needs the seed's power to become sagely.
So, let me get this straight.
what exactly is that communicator? It looks like it's got flashlights on
become
it.
the sage you are today. We helped you get your powers in the first place. And you never thanked us?
Thank you, Daxter.
He didn't thank you because the writers hadn't thought of it yet. Because it's a little jarring.
Onan says, what took you so long? We had to skip lunch waiting for you too. Ah, okay. She really says, thank you for saving the life seed.
I like
But I
Onin.
wouldn't say that if I were her.
She's interesting.
Give Onan
She's
the
nice.
seed, and she will prepare it for Samus.
Back off, featherweight.
Listen, Tiny Tail. I was leading my 100th flock south before you had fur one between your legs. Not that your fur means anything.
At least I'm not some overstuffed, over-yapping, feather-dusty mouthpiece for the world's oldest professional. Jak says, have a nice day. Jak says, I can't think on my own. Jak says, go bite yourself.
That's it, rat boy. Now you've really pissed me off.
Knock it off, both of you.
You're lucky I'm famished. Onan says take the energized life seed to young Samos in Haven Forest. It will give Samos the power he needs to
Yeah.
finally see the
Standard.
forest from
Here's
the
your
trees.
next mission. Get out of here.
Quickly.
I guess it's fine. I don't really have anything to say about it.
Samos told me to. I mean, you told me to. Or, well, I mean, your older version. Whatever. We heard you needed the life seed.
Yes,
He just tosses that thing.
Roger, we're en route. I see him.
Jack, protect me from these guards. I must ask the plants vital questions about our future.
Just kind of floats around.
Life seemed to give me a terrible vision. The Baron is planning to destroy the precursor stone. He aims to crack it open somehow. If he does this, the energy released will be beyond comprehension. It will destroy
I don't know. They never talk about it.
ending all life. The
It's
plants
just the life
crying
seed. It's
out
just a
for
thing that
protection.
exists, I
You
guess.
must stop the Baron, Jack. Stop him, however you can.
Yeah, we gotta stop the Baron because he's still the bad guy.
How's the
Like-
stuff going? I've got good news and bad news. The good news is Core tells me we've got enough power online to keep the shield walls up.
Core
So for
tell.
now,
What does that
City
guy know?
safe.
He's just like this old guy. I mean, he's actually a metalhead, but like he's just all this old guy.
We've detected a cluster of metalhead eggs growing up at the strip mine site. Now you've got to go back there and find a way to destroy those eggs before they turn into a whole new army of creatures.
I noticed the crane was lifting a large metal container. If we could jump onto the container, we could drop the crate from above.
Hi, jump, drop. Why don't I like the sound of that?
Come on, Dax. Let's go.
Whoa. His cutscenes do have really good sound. Why couldn't he just, I don't know, blow them up with the Peacemaker? I guess it was not strong enough. I don't know. Use the just jump jet board off. I don't know. Why do that?
I can't believe it. We were so close. The Baron stole the precursor stone right out from under us. And after all of our planning and hard
Did nobody
work,
think it was weird
Torn
how
has betrayed the cause.
this guy didn't get busted out of prison?
Protecting one of our own.
We must
Like nobody thought that was weird. He was there when they all got.
Yeah,
What
we're working on it.
What happened?
The
Where did he go?
rest This Baron, and now it appears he has taken the boy as well. Think, what will the Baron's next move be?
Well, if I had the precursor stone with all that power, I'd use it to build a giant palace. A palace with the biggest harem of women the world has ever known. And there'd be a swimming pool filled to the brim with chocolate.
Like,
Slightly-
why does everyone tolerate
yeah, a
Daxter
massive
just
pool of
fucking
gooey
around the
chocolate.
scene?
Then the girls and I would jump in together. What?
I want you to go out to the drill platform.
Like, Core is pretty patient, I gotta say. Like, everyone is so patient with this fucking rat. Look, I gotta say, I like Daxter. I like him a lot in this game. I like him way more in this game than I like him in the third game. In Jak 3, he's actually really fucking annoying. But in Jak 2, he's a really good contrast to how dark and edgy it is. But there's scenes where I'm just like, man, people really just put up with this dickhead.
Look, Brooder, we've got our own problems to deal with right now.
But you no bid to do ruckus, you cause a dig? I know all caves like back of claw, and Mars Tomb, nowhere there. Now metalheads find hidden lurker village in caves. They bite and hurt village real bad, and me lurker brothers trapped like animals.
Hello, they are animals.
We're no longer evil lurking bad to bones, orangey boy. We good now. Metalhead
What a weird line.
is enemies.
Yeah, I guess we're all in the same boat now.
That's a really good line from Jak.
Fast, brother.
Please.
I'm okay with this idea that Jak needs to transform. He needs to change, like become less vindictive and accepting of the people around him, maybe.
Promise not to laugh.
But it's such a weird line when Bruder's like, we're not bad guys anymore. It's like, yeah, that shit with Gull and Maya was like centuries ago.
My girl.
But I'm still missing 2 pieces.
Figures.
Vince says I need an artifact called the Time Map and an old energy gem history books called the Heart of Mar. And I've looked in every book on precursor history I can find. But the Rift Ring seems to have vanished.
There she is, just get this fucking shit-eating grin.
Will you two stop moping around and make up already?
I've seen the Heart of Mar. Crew has it. We'll get those 2 artifacts, Kira.
Attention all drivers. The Class 1 championship race is about to begin.
Well, here goes. The race of my life.
Ah, titty lady.
I just wanted you to know, well, you're the best racer I've ever seen.
Hey, what about me? I helped get
What
us
a
here.
that's so weak,
Crazy
man.
loon arrow? No way! You got the handlebars, brother. And you'd better keep us alive or I will never speak to you again.
She didn't even say sorry. Like, she didn't even say sorry for, like, picking a fucking fight with him in the first place. Like, she's the one with the issue. Whatever, the race is nice. Very intense.
I want more than just to win, eco freak. I want you.
Damn, dude. Fucking Errol just wants to fuck. Like, goddamn.
And skill will be tested for our amusement. If any of you should by some small chance beat our grand champion Harold, then you will be awarded a month's supply of eco.
Wow.
And the short tour of
A whole month.
the other half live. Good luck.
To race in this, like, people are out here racing and dying for a month worth of eco. It's not even established that it's that important. Like, what if private use of a month of eco, like, what, does it heat your home or something? Like, is it like
A brave man of the people. And who is this worthy opponent? In my world, good men are either bought or broken. So which is it going to be?
Surprise.
What?
Just a little closer. We need to talk.
Fool! Don't you get it? It's over, Jak. All the heroes died long ago. Only survival remains, by whatever means. This city is mine. These lives are mine.
whatever
This
happened
war
to
is mine.
where they
War people die. Kill it.
fight.
wanted to make him into a weapon? Well, you raise an interesting point, but it's not as dramatic as just telling him to be killed.
All along you've been trying to undermine our war with the metalheads. Whose side are you on?
See, this is a really interesting scene, because Ashlyn's got a point. She's like, you're here to undermine us. Like, are you on the metalhead side?
Will kill all of us. Don't you get it?
It's like someone writing this game, like, had the ideas that I had, but they didn't fucking formulate them correctly.
You know all about the precursor stone myth, right?
And this entire scene is
What would happen if the precursor stone was
Precurian
being, say,
theoretical
violently
physics. Yeah, that. This is just all resolved with one phone call. Like, are you kidding me?
Everything?
Because he wants to put it in a bomb to blow up the metalheads with. He doesn't realize that it will just fucking destroy everything, because apparently he's stupid. He just hasn't done any research.
Secret weapons factory near the dig. Here, that's my top level security pass. It'll get you into the factory, but it won't get you back out.
Why won't it get you back out? I said, why won't it get you back out? Hey, I asked you a question. Did you read the script? What's that on the floor over there? Is that the script?
When I first met you, Jak, and I commend you for making it this far. We've come a long way, eh?
Yeah, I'm getting real teary-eyed.
I love weapons. I love how they look, how they feel, even how they smell.
I think you need serious help.
My favorite was the impossibly powerful weapon Ma built to blast open the metalhead nest. Poor fool died before he could use it.
Oh, well. That is a nice established little phrase for crew.
My masterpiece is powerful enough to crack open the precursor stone and release the untold energy inside. As soon as the Baron shows up with the stone, we'll hide it in the last shipment of eco and deliver it to the metalhead nest. A surprise dessert, eh?
The metalheads just let these guys deliver shit to their nest?
Not this time, crew. I'm through being your hired gun.
Then it's war, isn't it?
I guess.
Is it too late to give my notice?
Yeah, we quit.
The city is already dead. I've sold you all out.
Jak, I think maybe we should be anywhere else just about now.
Ashley.
We're out of here.
I don't know, it just seems... Man, the crew just really just did... He really just accepted that fate like a man. I gotta give him credit.
For you. I'm sorry it's come to this.
What do you mean, come to this? What do you mean? This is what, like, did I miss some context?
Hey guys, whatever Crew put in that machine, he looked really nervous.
Whatever it is, Crew won't be needing it anymore. He's, shall we say, not altogether these days. Step aside, Jak. Let the game player do his stuff.
You're such an animal.
Oh, God. Why do they write the character to be this way? I don't like it at all.
The time map! You know, Sugar Plum, if any real metalheads came to town, I'd bunk them just like I did in the game.
Daxter?
They'd be all, don't hurt me, please. And I'd be all, too late, metal monkeys.
You know, there's an interesting way this scene is made where Tess kind of like uses, like she hides behind Jak. She puts his hand on his back. And it's all very subtle. But it shows to me that Tess's relationship with Daxter is like purely just like just fun for her. Like it doesn't it says to me that she's got some fucking brains. She's like a human. Like she's got some blood flowing in her body like a regular person would. When she acts that way, it just tells me that she doesn't take Daxter as seriously as she does in Jak III, where she like wants to fuck him the whole time. I don't know. Tess is a way better character in Jak II than she is in Jak III.
Once again, being your friend sucks. I want to go on the balloon.
You keep Stadium safe while we prep balloon for lift away. Oh no, here they come!
Oh, Brooder, you're so funny.
Must be nice floating away while we die down here.
That zoomer just clipped through.
Near the nest. See you soon, Jak. Be careful.
Yeah, Jak.
That's a nice little callback to Jak and Daxter when he goes into Gollum Maya's Citadel and she's like, and Jak, be careful, and then Daxter's like, yeah, we will be. It's a nice little callback.
When I did, metalheads came streaming in from some passage outside the city walls, just like they were waiting for him. There's one.
Crew's dead.
Yeah? Well, he's lucky, because he would not want me to catch him alive.
The metalheads must have promised Crew plenty for him to betray the whole city like this.
Let's get out of here.
See, this angle isn't something we could work on, where Jak could be in this position the same right now, where he's worried, concerned, terrified maybe of the consequences of metalheads being freed in the city, but I think it could have been interesting if earlier in the game he was consciously working towards undermining the Baron by helping the metalheads, playing both sides of the fields to his advantage. But at this point in the game, we're close to closing the game out. We're really close to the end. He should have had some transformation where he realizes the folly in that action, becomes aligned with the city and the underground holy. That just sounds more interesting. It's like a dynamic. It's like what we in the business call an arc.
What a trophy he'll make. We find a way to juice up Mars' old gun, and then boom, baby, we storm the nest, guns blazing. Hell, we'll take them all on.
Also, it's really a big shame that they just threw Sig's character away for a joke. Like, obviously he doesn't actually die. But it's actually really unfortunate that I think it could have been really cool if Sig was there at the end of the game at the metalhead nest with us.
Core, what's going on?
I'm sure you know.
Why aren't they just shooting them?
In your darkest nightmares. We've met
For real, why aren't they just shooting?
Everything's going exactly as planned.
Shoot this man! What are you... Shoot him! Also, it's cool that we get to see the Baron's sword. I wish we could have seen more of it.
Give me the precursor stone! The city must die, and we all die!
So we get this one moment where we see the Baron is actually like a charismatic leader under all of his propaganda and monstrous activities. I wish we could have seen more of that.
You are the supreme weapon, Jak, and I made you insult, always has his backup plan. Remember, the first rule in making a bomb is to always make two.
Maybe he wasn't such a bad guy after all. No, he was like a conscious murderer of hundreds. See, I don't know what I really don't know what emotion they're trying to convey in this scene with the Baron. Like, oh, it's a little unfortunate that it's like you spend the whole game wanting to kill the Baron, but now that he didn't die by my hands, I feel a little bad. But it's really a shame that how am I supposed to feel bad for the Baron? Like he was gonna fucking kill his daughter to root out some underground rebellion. Like, I'm supposed to feel bad for this guy? It's a shame that we couldn't have seen the Baron acting more as a charismatic figure. At least give people a reason why they would follow this man outside of the force of authority against them. Because that's not going to stop everyone. I mean, clearly it hasn't, because there is an underground movement, but it's not enough. People should still, in some way, shape, or form, like this leader.
What? You mean go in there? I'm right behind you.
I would have really enjoyed it if I was more conflicted about the Baron's actual death in that scene. Given a reason to find some need for him. No, he's just a horrible monster. Like, everyone's gonna be better off now that he's not ruling the city. There seems to be no policy, no anything that proved that he was a necessary force.
You've decided to join us, and you brought the precursor stone. Good. The boy will now play his final part.
I guess what I'm trying to say is the actual story, like events of Jak II, they're fine. It's just the characters aren't interesting. They have no dynamics. There's so much missed opportunity that could have made it such a richer story.
But Onin was wrong. Now that you've been altered with Dark Eco, the stone will never open for you. Your younger self, however, still has the pure gift. He alone can awaken the stone and the precursor entity which sleeps inside.
This stone is a precursor?
The last precursor.
Jack's just like confused. He's like genuinely asking a question.
Hiding his last egg from me and building the shield and city to defend it. It has been a long siege, but today I will finally feed on the last precursor life form.
Why? Will it make you stronger? Did he say that? Did he say it would make him stronger?
Not for long.
Do you see this moment? Boom. Why couldn't we get more things like this in the game? That was so exciting. The way jumps out. It's like Dark Jak has a purpose. You know, maybe it unleashes this evil nature within him, but it helped him fucking survive that explosion.
It is finished. Our ancient enemy is no more. Take hope.
Why couldn't we have had more things like that?
Darkness inside you is now balanced by a glorious light. We will meet again.
We haven't much time. I've sent the coordinates back to our village. Let's go home, everyone.
Well, we are home.
Kira, I'm afraid your Rift Rider must be
Okay,
used to send young
so
Jak here to a place where he will
is
grow up
Kira from the
safe
past?
harm. He must become old enough
She
to
from the
complete
future?
destiny he has
Where's young Kira? Is she?
It's you. I mean, it's me. I have to take him back and watch over him, don't I?
But he's from the future.
Being in the wrong time at the right
Who,
place.
so Kira has a right to go back into the past too.
Stay away from any wumpy nest on your 9th birthday, okay?
I sure hope I built this replica right. I don't know if it...
It's perfect, Kira. This is the very machine we found, or will find later.
What? I just built this. After seeing the first one, I mean. It's based on what I remember from before.
Honey, the more you think about it, the more it hurts the head.
You know, fair enough.
Good care of the child.
But Kira has a right to go back through that portal. She's not from this time zone, this time era.
Thanks, Amos. Without you...
It's funny. The boy won't remember any of this.
No, I do remember the.
And then, like, the precursor hologram thing is like, you've now been balanced by a glorious light. Like, what are you talking? What do you mean?
I've got so much work to
Like,
do.
was it all within him all along? Like, it was just he had to overcome his dark nature. And then in Jak III, he gets the light eco, and he's like, I feel better now. Like, so which is it?
I'm dying to see you dance.
Not likely.
Welcome to the Naughty-Otso, the hippest,
Yeah, so
happiest, happiest
that's
joint
pretty
in
much it.
town.
Like,
Check out the new decor.
basically wrapped up Jak II, and hopefully I've conveyed my feelings properly.
That bad boy myself, baby.
Onan says she doesn't know who has a bigger head, him or you.
We must not forget Vin and all the others who sacrificed their lives to
Eh.
defeat this evil and protect the child.
I still can't believe that little boy was me.
Yeah, Vin just died.
You miss him, huh? You know,
Like, Vin's
the kid
dead.
grows up to be a handsome hero.
That actually happens not in a cutscene, so it's like probably the only actual story beat we miss, not via cutscene.
What'd she say?
Something about rubber tubing and certain parts of your mother. You don't want to know.
And bro, we get my boy Sig back. It's really a missed opportunity. Would have been really cool if Sig was there and invading the metalhead nest. Instead, they
I knew you were too
suspended his death as a joke. And I just can't say it's a bit of a missed opportunity.
Metalcore and his menace are history, and somewhere out there, an ancient race has begun again.
I'm just
I
glad.
guess, but
Yeah, well, rest
see,
up. We've
that's
got
why
a
it's
lot
hard
to
for me to
do.
compare the canon
So much time to
that
do
Jak
it.
3 adds, because it's fucking awful.
Remember?
Like, Jak 3 has better characters and, in my opinion, a better story, but what it does to the canon is just awful. And the way it handles precursors, because, bro, we gotta subvert expectations. Fucking.
Closer than you think.
You're the designated driver.
It's clear that we have learned nothing since Jak 3, because The Last Jedi did the same bullshit. Subvert your expectations for the sake of subverting your expectations. And you know what? It was a garbage ass film. Just irreparable damage to the Jak and Daxter canon by making precursors like what Daxter are. I hate it. I hate it a lot.
Especially since the just thing that came out
Was like the thing that came out of the egg was like this blue thing.
kind of spectry.
And then we see that thing in Jak 3, and then it turns out that it's just like a hologram projection. In memory of Morgan, I think that was their dog. I think that was one of the a dog that belonged to someone at Naughty Dog. Anyway, I'm wrapping this up because that was exhausting. Whew. I'll maybe go through this in the near future and break it down into more edited videos, but hopefully my views have come across logically and that I touched on everything I wanted to. So, yeah.